What is going on, beautiful people? Today we are talking about why it's so difficult to travel with a narcissist. If you're new here, my name is Lee Hammock. I'm a clinically diagnosed narcissist, and welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code. Boom. Welcome back. Folks, yes. It can be extremely difficult to travel with a narcissist or toxic person. I know a lot of people can feel this. I already know a lot of people are just tune into this episode and be like, Lee, this is the video I've been waiting for you to do. Because I've done a video like this before, but as I grow, my thought process changes a little bit. You know, my thoughts change, my feelings change about certain situations as I become more self-aware about my own personality disorder and my own behaviors as to why maybe I don't like to travel, and just try to give y'all perspective from that as well. So I think home is like the home, the house, the city, the original location, wherever a narcissistic person decides to plant their roots, so to speak. I feel like that becomes like the narcissist safe place. It becomes the narcissistic person's safe place to feel like they can be who they want to be within their household. You know, outside of this household bubble, outside of this safety zone, narcissistic people tend to act different, right? Like the narcissist doesn't behave the same way in the house that they do outside the house. So home is like the safe zone. And I know you who have been dealing with the narcissist, even if it's your parent or your partner or your sibling or whoever, you get a different version of them at home. You be thinking, you like, I wish y'all could see the person behind closed doors, because behind closed doors is who they really feel safe to be. Like when I'm behind closed doors, I can take my mask off because I feel safe here, and they treat you differently behind closed doors. So if home is the safe bubble, if home is it's kind of like home base. If this is my my base of operation here, where I feel the safest, where I feel like I can be me. Anytime I leave that place, I feel like I have to become someone else, right? I have to become someone else. Even if I'm just going to the store, even if I'm just going to work, I feel like I have to become someone else in order, to have a chance at living to feeling safe within myself. So the further you get away from home, the more likely you are to act out, because I'm not home, I'm not safe, and I need to let you know that I don't feel safe. I need to let you know. And that's why we having so many bad trips with narcissistic people. You know, that's my thoughts on it right there. Because home is a safe bubble, right? Home is my safe place, and we're getting away from my safe zone. Then I'm going into danger. Anywhere away from the house is a danger zone, especially if it's with you. You know, narcissists can travel by themselves, which is weird. This is going to sound weird. Narcissists can travel by themselves and it'd be okay. But when they bring the family and friends or whoever they travel with, they ruin your trip. You know, they ruin the trip for you and everybody around you, because it just feels weird being away from the house. It's just like, I wish I could describe it to you, but it's like this inner feeling. It's not darkness. It's not the devil. It's just like, I don't feel safe and comfortable. Even when I travel now, I don't feel safe and comfortable. Rarely ever. You know, even when I travel right now, I don't feel safe and comfortable. But due to my self-awareness and me being in therapy for so long, I know how to process that type of stuff. I can take a deep breath and ask myself, what am I really thinking? What am I really afraid of? What are the real actual dangers here, to my safety? Because the narcissist doesn't just travel by themselves. They bring their inner child with them. The adult version of the narcissist probably is okay with traveling. It's the inner child that doesn't feel safe away from the house. Just think about it. If you have this underdeveloped, traumatized inner child within yourself that sits in the darkness all the time, when you get away from the house, they feel like, okay, I'm in danger again. Like I wasn't protected as a child. I wasn't nurtured as a child. I was neglected and maybe traumatized and assaulted and abused as a child. So if I'm away from my safe zone, then that might can happen again. So I act out. It can be the inner child acting out. Think about it right there. It could be their deep inner child, their scared inner child flailing and acting out and behaving erratically because they don't feel safe and protected. It reminds the inner child of it's kind of like it's a triggering experience for the inner child to get away from the house and just be like, I'm not safe again. This takes me back to my childhood when I wasn't feeling safe. This takes me back to these places when I wasn't feeling safe, when I wasn't secure. It's all happening again. It's all happening right now again. So the inner child doesn't feel protected and it starts acting out. Throwing a temper tantrum, giving you the silent treatment, raging out on you. Because I say this in a few other videos, and I say this all the time. The inner child, the traumatized inner child, lives vicariously through the adult. Narcissistic people tend to stop growing at a certain age, tend to stop growing emotionally at a certain age. Because whatever age of the trauma, it's the age of the trauma in their youth, right? So if I'm 12 years old and I go through trauma, I'm stuck emotionally at 12 years old. I can become smart. I can become, a human being. I can live my life to the fullest extent, but I can't do it. You see what I'm saying? It's a whole different dynamic. It's a whole different space to be within when you're dealing with this type of mindset, when you're dealing with this type of stuff. So if you're traveling with a narcissist, think about it. There's nothing, like I said again, y'all, you can try your best to make them feel as safe and comfortable as possible. But there's always you can ask them. You can go up to them and ask them like, hey, look, how do I make this trip best for both of us? How do I make this trip the best for both of us? How do I live my life? How do for the best for all of us? How do I make you feel comfortable? Let's make sure you can write it down, y'all. And there's always something's going to go wrong, or there's going to be something that was forgotten, or they just are going to take it and just say it's not enough. It might not start off that way. So that's one of the red flags early in the beginning of a relationship. Before you commit to this person, if y'all travel and have a bad time, just think about that, And also, if you think about it as well, it really kind of depends. It doesn't happen every trip sometimes, right? It could happen sporadic. It could happen with certain locations when you're traveling to their parents' house or to your parents' house or to somewhere that they really don't want to go. They act out even more. Especially if it's their parents who traumatized them as a child or whoever. It's like the inner child is going back into that danger zone again. The inner child, you're taking the inner child back to the place of abuse. And the adult version might not be thinking about it, but the inner child is just kicking out, kicking and screaming, begging to be heard, begging to be listened to. They notice me, kicking the back. It's kind of like a kid in the back seat that really doesn't want to go somewhere, and they're kicking the back seat. They're just doing like a bicycle kick on the back seat, on the back seat to mess with you, to get into your head, to just try to not necessarily assault you, but like I said, to mess with your head, to show you they really don't want to be here, and it doesn't matter how exotic, how expensive it is. If you paid for it, it's even worse sometimes. If you pay for the trip, if you set the trip up, it's even worse sometimes because it's like you forced them to go, you forced me to go, you forced me to go against my will because I didn't really want to go to this trip. You planned it out. You did this. You said this. So it's your fault that I'm here. So I'm unhappy because of you. So they blame you for their unhappiness because of what's going on right now. You see how that works? That could be the mindset or the mentality of a lot of narcissistic and toxic people right there, because they start to act that way. They start to behave that way. The mentality, the mental, getting away from the safe zone, getting away from the safety of the house, getting away from the protection that the house provides, the shield against vulnerability. I know y'all have never heard about the inner child feeling unsafe from home. I know y'all have not heard that before. Cause it came out of my head. I thought about this earlier because I'm literally about to take a trip from the house right now. And I was thinking, because I'm getting those deep feelings within myself right now. Just I really don't want to go. Really don't want to go. I didn't plan this. I'm getting drug away from the house. But I know my kids, my daughter's birthday, just her birthday thing. I'm not going to ruin her birthday. She deserves to grow up better than I have. It's not. So that's one thing the therapist helped me understand. It's not always about me. I work on myself because it helps me, but it also helps me be better for my family, my friends, and whoever else I'm around. That's the mindset, y'all. That's the mentality of it right there. Cause I know that's why I came down here I wasn't even going to record the video till later, but I just started thinking, I'm like, let me go and get this off right now. Because it does feel like when I meditate, my inner child is just like, I can feel it just getting queasy. What's the anxiety building up? What's this paranoia coming from? It's the inner child. It could be my inner child not feeling safe, my inner child just being scared and coming up with these irrational fears, you know. So I have to coax myself. It's just like, it's going to be okay. This is the stuff I have to say to myself. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We're safe. I'm safe. I know sometimes I'm talking in multiple people, but it's one person, you know. But it's me. If I'm talking to my inner child, it's like I have to say we. Although it's one and the same, I say we. We're going to be safe. You're going to be fine. You know, I meditate and tell myself this over and over again. It's like a mantra where I have to just get into my mind. It's like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You know, I'm going to be okay. This is going to be fun. I'm going to have fun with my daughter on her birthday and my wife and my kids and whatnot. It's going to be a beautiful Sunday. That's the goal right here. You know, going to the circus. Actually going to the circus in Greensboro, North Carolina. So going to, you know, if y'all see me there, say hey. This video might be posted later on after I've left. But yeah, that's what it is, y'all. I feel like the inner child is kicking and screaming because it wants to be heard. It doesn't feel protected. It's like, you're taking me into danger. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, Will Robinson. Do you see? Danger, Lee Hammock. Danger, Lee Hammock. That's where the mind goes, y'all. So if you haven't already, y'all, make sure you check out the kids book on Amazon to help your kids as kids, you know, and maybe talk to your own inner child. It's called Remember It's Not Your Fault. It's on Amazon. Check it out. I also have my self-love journal on Amazon too. It'll help you relearn to love yourself and whatnot. I'm writing in another book as well, y'all. I'm writing in another book. And I have my first video series / course coming out here pretty soon as well, y'all. Make sure you subscribe to my newsletter for that. Like and subscribe. Mental Healness is out. Peace. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video. You are a mental healness rock star, and I appreciate you for being here. If you haven't already, make sure to click on the screen to subscribe to the channel and watch another one of my videos in my playlist. There's also a link available up here for you to purchase my kids book, Remember It's Not Your Fault, on Amazon. So check that out. Thank you. I will see you in the next video. Peace.